Yeah.
We met at Watergate one night on a Tuesday, I remember. We met at the bar randomly and we started to talk, and we kind of saw then that we share a passion for music, and we had quite a long talk about it, and we saw each other again sometimes, and at some point we were like, hey, let's go to the studio together.
I think it was like that we both felt that we have that we are both very creative, and not only musically but also visually and all that. We felt like there's a connection and that we should do something creative together, really. It wasn't so much about it that we didn't really think about the style we would do. I know we knew that we both have a bit different directions, and we also have like something we both share, but I think it was more like the vibe in general we had that brought us to the studio, not like, okay, we have to do this and this and this music. It was more like, yeah, let's do something together, because there was like a connection in a way. Well, the thing actually is that it was my studio we went to, and I'm like doing production. I'm used to do production with other people anyway, so all the technical side, you know, it was more on the beginning, more on my side. So it was like I introduced Patricia to my setup, and so I was like giving some, playing the ball to her and seeing, okay, here there's a sound, maybe you try something on the keyboard, play something.
I played piano for 8 years. I kind of grew up also doing music, so for me that was always something natural. When I'm in the studio, like, I don't really remember the times when I play piano. I just try things out, and I just work with what I have there, and it's also always very spontaneously. I also always adapt to what we already have, and I develop ideas, but I don't come with okay, I always want to play these chords or whatever. This is just, it happens spontaneously. So yeah, and actually I also felt it that way. It was very natural. Like, we went to Asem's studio, and it just kind of flowed. It really flowed super quickly. Well, first of all, I don't miss those days, because I still do that when I go out. Yeah, like you. I mean, I go to a party and I enjoy, and I forget about time and whatever around. Like, I just have fun with people. Well, the lyrics, they came rather late within the production. We almost had the track ready, I think. And at some point, yeah, kind of. And then we said, okay, lyrics would be nice in that track, and then we just tried things out, and it somehow, I don't know, it just happened. Actually, I can't really explain it. It just happened. The lyrics were there quite quickly. I mean, we wrote it within 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Very important for me. I try to motivate people to really let themselves go when they go out, when they party, to be themselves, to get lost as well. This is something that you really can see a lot still in the party scene in Berlin. It changes though, and in many other places around the world it's not that present anymore.
I think times are not changing as much as many people say. And concerning the lyrics, it's like, I mean, you can see it in that party context, but it's also like, I mean, I think this whole track got a bit of a sexy vibe, and I think the lyrics reflect that as well. It's just like a reflection of the vibe we felt with this track, and you can also see it like a man-woman thing.
While writing the lyrics, I actually saw the scene of two people in a club. And this sexiness between them and this thing. But for me it's a bit like both, you know, it's like this this magic happening between two people, but it was, in my imagination, in a club context. So it's also about this, letting this thing happen and go for it, let it flow.
Are you sure there were only two people?
You never know, especially in Berlin, huh?
the end now, it's very, for me, it's very connected to the lyrics, because we always say like, express yourself, show yourself, and for me it's like an homage, and the message is like, love yourself and be yourself, and
Exactly.
you can see this man that comes home and he more slowly he turns into a woman suddenly. And he's absolutely free, and he's absolutely who he is and what he wants to do and how he feels, and of course then, I mean, at the end of the video he has this like dream where we see this party scene, and then it rings, the bell rings, and he opens the door, and suddenly he is there with flowers for himself. So for me it was like the perfect, it's like loving yourself and being yourself.
Exactly. I think the idea of the video came a bit after the track. Again, the lyrics were really like from the situation, really not intentionally meaning something special, but and afterwards having the lyrics with the track, it was like, okay, us, what does it mean? Us, it's like you and me. So then there was this idea of what do the people do in this world, and what really matters. So we have the lucky side, that's how the video started. So we were really trying to show this contrast between the really happiness, between relation and art and everything good that people do, and the really bad side like war, torture, and animal cruelty, all that.
Yes, for me it's both. It is definitely an escape, which in a way I think it's also very good and very healthy to sometimes escape. But at the same time, sometimes I also struggle with it. I've also been on parties where suddenly I was like, fuck, what are we doing here? Why are we celebrating while people are dying at the moment? You know, like it's also difficult. I cannot really say it's right or wrong. In a way, I think though it's healthy to do so, but we also still should stay conscious about what's going on in the world, and also proactively try to change things. And with the video, yeah, this was the idea to we were reflecting about the lyrics as what is it for? It was society for us. So we decided to make a video that shows the really positive sides and the really negative sides of society.
Depending on how successful this one will be, then we'll see.
No, we don't know. I mean, we have been working for quite a long time together on this, and I think now we're gonna have a break. It's a bit, but then probably in the future we don't know. I mean, we did not really talk about it. We will just see.
Yeah.